What's up? What's up, Facebook family? How are you doing today? Let me tell you something. I've noticed this trend lately that if you are missing this one element and you're an entrepreneur, or hell, even if you have a regular job, when you're missing this one critical element, that you almost always fail. Like, always. I haven't met anyone yet when they weren't using this one element, this one thing, when it was missing, that they always failed, whether as an entrepreneur or even as an employee, quite honestly. Even as an employee, they always failed. So how are you guys doing today? What's up, Brad? This is Dawnna St. Louis in the house, and I am the CEO of highprofitzone.com, where we help savvy experts make a whole hell of a lot more money working with premium clients who absolutely love the work that they do. So that's what I do. And I'm also an international keynote speaker. So what's up, Brad? What's up, Kim? How are you guys doing? I'm going to tell you guys, when this one, I am not kidding you, of all the retreats I've done, of all the entrepreneurs that I've met, of all even the employees, like those really high performing employees that I've met, just doing studies, because I'm all, scientist, right? So as a scientist, I'm always looking for them trends. I'm always looking for the things that work and don't work. Hey, how are you doing, Ashish? I'm looking for those things like, what's the difference between this? And I'm always looking to connect those dots. And what I found is low performing entrepreneurs, low performing employees are missing this one thing. They're all missing it. Now, there are three things that you need to have, by the way, to have premium expertise. But if this one thing is missing, you're going to fail. Now, when I say it to you, you're going to be like, okay, Donna's obviously been hitting the pipe because that's stupid. But I swear to you, just get past the name. Just get past the name. Forgive me for the silly name. But I swear to you, when it's missing, you find failure. And that thing is, drum roll please, your superpower. I know. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like talking about like flying. Like, don't go out on the edge of the building and just like jump off because you ain't got that superpower. But seriously, it is your superpower. So let me explain it before you think I'm crazy. Let me explain what it is. So your superpower is that thing that you bring to the table every single solitary time that you have that other people don't have. That's not your superpower, Brad. Your superpower is not your hair. I love you, but that's not it. So your superpower is that thing that you bring to the table, that you do, that no one else brings to the table. So let me give you an example. So I want you to imagine that all of you are project managers, all of you. And there are tens of thousands of certified project managers in the world, and they all follow the exact same methodology. And I could take all those project managers and I could put them all on the same exact project. However, the only ones that will be successful are the ones that are actually using their superpower, even though they're all following the same methodology. Some people will call it a talent, but it's beyond your talent, right? It's really a superpower. So I'll give you a few examples. So I have a guy that I know who's brilliant. His name is Kevin. His superpower is actually that he is a bridge. That's his superpower. Now, that might sound silly to a lot of people, but he's actually leveraged that superpower in his entire career. Here's the thing. When he's not allowed to leverage that in his career, he fails every time. Here's the thing you got to know about superpowers. Okay, so Superman clearly has a superpower. He can fly. Okay, so this is cool. He could fly. But the thing is, him being able to fly is not transferable to me. Like, he can't come and do like an ET finger on me and suddenly I'm going to be able to fly. And I'm going to tell you I'll tell you some information about assessing your own superpower, right? So he can't put a finger on me and boom, I can fly. That's not how it works. It's his superpower. He can't transfer it to other people. So that's the sucky thing about your superpower. You have it. A lot of times when you know you have it, you're like, yeah, which means it's not even really that sexy for other people. So you can't sell it. They're like, well, that's great that you got it. How is that going to help me? It's not, right? The fact that Superman can fly means jack Jimmy to me when I'm sitting in traffic, right? Like, that's great that he can fly, but unless he gonna pick up my car, unless I got him on speed dial and he gonna pick up my car and he's gonna take me home with my car, then I really don't care that Superman has a superpower. My superpower is extreme creative aligned with business. See, that probably is your superpower. I would agree with that. And then the other thing about superpowers is that, so you can't sell it. It's not sexy at all. It's not transferable. It's only really good for you. Right. So now, why in the hell do you need to know it? Well, there's a few things. Number one, when you're not allowed to use it, it's almost like somebody put kryptonite around your neck, right? When you're not allowed to use your superpower at work, you tend to fail. So I'll use my example. There's a lady named Julie Holmes that I know, and her superpower, she's like the IKEA of business ideas. They're usually small. They're usually simple. They can usually be reused all over the place. She's amazing. So she'll take something. She's like, it's not just a bowl. It's a mixing bowl. It's a cereal bowl. It's a plant holder. And if you flip it over, you can put a hot pot on top of it and you won't burn your counters. Like, she's that person, right? She can come up with that one thing, and she has the power of perspective to see the 8,000 ways that thing can be used, increasing productivity and lowering costs. She's brilliant. If you go to her and say, I have this problem, she is so good at getting in there, dissecting it, and finding the fastest way to get to the goal you want to get to in a very simple, cost-effective manner. Just brilliant, like innovation on steroids without all the big, ugly collateral damage and costs. That is her superpower that she can do. But until she repackages it, no one cares. So until Superman takes his ability to fly and puts it in a cape, for example, until he does that, no one cares. So if Superman said, hey, I found a way to take my flying ability and repackage it in capes, then people would be like, oh my God, I'm buying capes. They would fly off the shelf. It's the same thing with your superpower. Until you could take your superpower and repackage it in your expertise, then no one really cares. But repackaging it in your expertise is one of the things that makes you different. But remember, I said that's not sellable, because telling people that they're going to do something different because of your superpower doesn't work either. That's why you need to know what your USP, your unique selling proposition is, or your differentiator. And people usually get that wrong as well. It's when you can take your superpower as well as your expertise and break it down into a methodology that then you become a thought leader. So now you're probably sitting there going, oh my God, my head is exploding. It's not. Calm down, back up. Let's just stay on your superpower for a while. So the first thing that I do when people come to the high profit zone, one of the things we do from pre-work, because there's usually a month or two of pre-coaching that happens before you actually show up to the high profit zone retreat, is we do a whole analysis and we sit down and really identify what your superpower is. So one of the success stories, and we have so many that come out, but I'm going to use one that's more recent, because we had Julie Holmes, who has just knocked it out of the park. In fact, she's getting ready to relocate from the UK to Denver, and she's completely rebranded and she's doing fantastic. And we only started working together at the end of July, beginning of August. But we have this other gentleman whose name is John Ramstead. John Ramstead 100% recognized, we sat down, we recognized what his superpower was. We then looked at what his expertise was. We created his methodology, and now he has this entire system surrounded by that's totally sellable, and he's knocking it out of the park with it. He literally just did a keynote, I think he said in front of 3,500 people, with this whole new methodology, superpower, all wrapped together. It is amazing. I'll see you later, Brad. So here's the thing that you want to recognize. So when you look at your superpower, and this is really high level, because like I said, when you come to the high profit zone and when you have the high profit zone book, one of the things that we do is we do a whole analysis in regards to what your superpower is, because we really want you to be working in your premium area of expertise, right? Your premium area of expertise is when you have your superpower, your expertise, and your credibility all working in alignment, right? We want you to get in alignment. When you're in alignment, your chances of failure are almost negligible. And the reason I say that is because you're driven, you have the expertise, and you have the credibility to go with it, that means nothing can really stop you. A lot of times when people fail, it's because they're working out of alignment, and so they now have a job. So we take people from having a job into really working as an entrepreneur the way they're supposed to be working as an entrepreneur. So one of the things that we tell people to do is, and this is really super high level, is look at your past successes. I don't really care about your role because we're not looking for your expertise, we're looking for your superpower. But look at your past successes. And even if your role, just for argument's sake, was that you were a leader of a committee, right? And let's say you've been the leader of a committee 4 times, but there's this one time that you just freaking knocked it out of the park. Period, the end. Like, it was, everything you brought to the table was 100%. Well, what did you bring to the table that time that maybe you didn't bring to the table other times? And maybe there's a time that you weren't as successful as a leader of a committee. What was stifled? What did they hold back? Because that thing that was stifled, that means they put kryptonite around your neck and they stopped you from using your superpower. So my superpower, which is, it's really a kind of silly superpower, it's a little like X-ray vision. So I have like the Professor X from X-Men type of thing, where I can recognize other people's superpowers, number one, which is kind of cool to have based on the work that I do, but it's part of the reason why I do the work that I do. So the first thing is that I can recognize other people's superpowers. And then the second thing is that I also know how to go and dissect things that are completely nebulous, that don't seem to make sense, that don't seem to have a rhyme or reason to them. I can make those things concrete so that everyone can do them. Like, for example, I have a test that allows people to go and identify their superpower, right? He says, my superpower is explanation. Well, so it's funny that you say that. That is how I package my superpower. So I go and use my superpower to take something that's really complicated, nebulous, kind of all over the place. I use that superpower to put it in these easy to use, easy to bite, easy to consume chunks, and then I give them to other people so that those people can use them. So that's one of the ways that I package my superpower, right? I take really complex things like, how do you build a successful business, right? How do you build a successful business? Is there a DNA blueprint for that? I discovered the blueprint, the business building blueprint, back 20 something years ago. I've used it to build several businesses. We now have 151 entrepreneurs that are in our $1 Million Club. 152nd entrepreneur we think is going to, we're on Millionaire Watch. We think that's actually going to happen between March and September. So we're really excited about that. But it's being able to take something that I look at all these businesses and I find their commonalities, right? And I connect the dots between them. And then I go, oh, that's it. They all have these 4 things. And when these 4 things work in concert, then we have a successful business, right? And so it's the same thing with entrepreneurs. When I get people who are experts that are super savvy, so they're these savvy experts, but they want to be entrepreneurs. The challenge is when you're a savvy expert and you want to be an entrepreneur, one of the challenges that you really run into is that you don't realize that being smart, having that one area of business, having that expertise, like, oh, I have an expertise, I know who my target market is, and I know exactly what they want, and you think that's enough, but you don't know how to sell it to them. You don't know how to market it. You don't know how to close a deal. You're not really sure 100% that's your target market. You don't know how to speak to their challenges. You don't know how to process. Like all these other things are missing. And it's one of the reasons why so many people who are brilliant experts fail. Because they think they have the whole thing because they know this one thing. Knowing that one thing is not enough. There's literally 12 spokes to take you from being a really savvy expert to a great entrepreneur. But at the bottom line, even with all of that, if you're not leveraging your superpower, the thing that consistently makes you successful, if you're not leveraging that within your area of expertise, you're not going to be a successful entrepreneur. That is just the bottom line of it, because you're not doing that thing that consistently makes you successful. You're actually stifling it. And so one thing that I teach people how to do with the high profit zone is we show people how to get past that. Anyway, my name is Dawnna St. Louis. Believe it or not, We only have 2 seats available for the highprofitzone.com retreat coming up in January. That's it. We sold out the first house in 3 days. We just sold the 2 more seats this weekend. We only have 2 seats left. That's it. Beyond that, we're looking for April, and I'm actually thinking about doing one in Bali in August or October. I just want to go and look at the weather there. But I think we're going to either do one, and we're actually stuck, are we going to do it in Bali, or are we going to do it in Puerto Vallarta or somewhere in Mexico? So I know, or Dominica. So we're stuck on Bali, Dominica, or Mexico. So I know we're going to do an international one next year in either August or October. Thinking about it, big time. If I'm going to make a decision, I'll make it by the end of the month. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. So if you're stuck if you find that you are in positions where you're consistently stuck, where something's not working, I bet you anything it's because they're not allowing you to use your expertise. I thought about India. I looked at a couple of places. I'm not sure exactly. There was one place that I looked at in particular, but I haven't made a decision yet. Like I said, it's either going to be Bali, or it'll be Mexico, or it'll be Dominica. I also looked at Australia, but I couldn't find the places. So we're looking at Bali, B-A-L-I, Bali. I hope I'm saying it right. Mexico or Dominica, and that'll be either August or October. I just want to look at. No, it's not where I'm going. It's where we're going to do a international high profit zone, and we're going to either do it in October or August in Bali, Mexico, or Dominica. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So, but I haven't decided yet. I'll know at the end of the month where I'm going to do it. I know, right? Yeah, a couple of international ones. I've had a lot of requests from the international community to do some overseas. I looked at Bangkok as well. Needless to say, Indonesia is easy. It's all about the flight time and how much lead time, and then the activities that we want to do while we're there besides working. Besides that, but that won't be until like I said, the end of next year. So I'm giving myself a year to jump in on that one. Anyway, so I really want you to think about that. Recognize what your superpower is. That's what we were talking about today, Renita. What is your superpower? How do you leverage your superpower in order to reach success? Because without your superpower, it really does keep you from being successful. Like it 100% just stifles your success. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you're interested in learning more about the High Profit Zone, go to highprofitzone.com. We only have 2 spots left for January. Our next retreat is going to be in Orlando. Any free tool to assess? No, I don't have free tools to assess. Everything that I have in regards to the High Profit Zone comes in a book that you can only get at the High Profit Zone. So really you can only get it at the High Profit Zone, or you have to do private coaching for your distant viewers. Like I said, I haven't put it in paper like that. It really isn't you can take the assessment, but I still have to sit down and I'd have to assess the assessment. Like I have to read through it. So it's not one of those things. Any tool paid? Nope. Again, I got to read it. So you could hire me to coach you and read it. I could do that. But just send me a private message and we'll talk about it. Anyway, my name is Dawnna St. Louis. If you're interested in learning more about the High Profit Zone, go to highprofitzone.com, where you can discover your superpower and exactly what you should be doing to be a successful entrepreneur. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.